Good morning. So I think today's video is going to be in the dark. We'll see how this goes, but I've been here for over 2 hours. It's now 3:41. Sun is set, or is setting. Actually, it's nice. Sun's up a lot later here. Nice. Days are getting longer. But sounds like a big rig jackknifed, blocked the whole highway in front of us, and then some kind of service truck creamed into the side of him and was parked inside of his trailer. So it doesn't sound like a fatality. Sounds like everybody's okay, but he's blocked the road at a really weird angle, they say, and it'll be a while to get out. So I've been rendering videos. At least I'm almost caught up with that.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Oh, yeah. Oh, please like and subscribe. Yeah. That good. Yeah. Ha.
Sit here and wait. I'll listen to the CB chatter, or the VHF radio chatter. I'm always on CB channel 19 or VHF LAD 1.
Anything happening up at the front there?
Apparently we are no longer talkative. People have talked themselves tired and are taking a break, taking a nap. Fire department has left. 3 fire trucks. I didn't see any ambulances leave. 2 ambulances showed up and I didn't see any of them leave, but they might have headed out the other way towards Hope. I don't know. Or maybe I just didn't notice. I've been out and about and in the back of the... I've been moving around. Had lunch over here. And if we get out of here in the next hour or so, I should make it home today, which is yesterday for you guys. If I get out of here in the next hour or so, I'll have Friday off, and that's why I'm shooting this video now. So yeah, I think most of this video will probably be in the dark unless we get really lucky and get moving here very quick. And I'm not headed over the Coquihalla to Kamloops like we planned. I've been delayed for too long, so I'm just headed home. Heading home, and then Sunday afternoon I'll head to Kamloops, deliver this Monday morning, and then it sounds like I'm going back and getting my trailer and getting rid of these Super Bees and then delivering that load to Tacoma probably for Tuesday morning. And of course, all these wet roads are going to be black ice, so I don't know, we'll see. I'm not going to rush it, but if I don't make it home tonight, it'll be early tomorrow morning. But anyway, fast forward to once we're moving. Snap my finger and we're moving, right? Oh yeah, before I do that, we are on Highway 1, eastbound by Hurling Island. That's between Chilliwack and Hope.
Yeah, please. Go to 2.
We're moving! We're moving! Hey guys, the tow truck is coming eastbound now. I think it's trying to get past us here.
Just so you guys know, Peters Road, turn off eastbound is closed. We've got tow trucks in there working.
Reliable towing.
Thank God we don't have all.
I don't know if I was fast enough for that. I'll leave the radio off. It's just too dangerous, guys. The radio is too dangerous. It's a TV crew. TV crew in the red truck there. I guess this will be on Highway Through Hell next season. Right here is where the truck was blocking all the way across. Let's get in the daylight we can. Kind of beautiful with the sun hitting the top of the mountains like that. But okay, I do have to go fuel up, so that'll cut into our daylight time as well. So we'll record till I get to the fuel station here in Hope, and then I'll fuel up, and then we'll keep driving. It'll very likely it'll be dark as soon as I'm done fueling, so get a little bit of daylight in. They've dropped the trailer down there. Truck and trailer. Parked it down there. Out of the way for now. Just below half a tank. So I have you know what? I'm going to fuel up in Princeton. I'll likely still be at a quarter tank at Princeton. Let's fuel up in Princeton. I should have enough fuel to make it home, but just looking at the gauge, I think I'm fine to keep going. The reason I kept thinking fuel stop here is that's where I was going to have lunch. I was going to pull over, fuel up, and have lunch. But since I was stuck here, I had lunch over here. Take her nice and easy. These guys are really light, so they're slipping and sliding a lot more than I am. I'm really heavy on my drive, so I have a lot more traction. Like the guy that jackknifed, he was an empty van, van or a refurb, but light vehicles slip and slide a lot easier than us heavy guys. Benefits to having a really heavy Super Bee. Scale is only 3 kilometers away, so I think I will follow this guy in nicely until we know if the scale's open or not. Train full of box cars. Don't see that very often. Not a very long one. -5 Celsius. I have my shoulder cam here. Turn it on. There we go. Shoulder cam recording. Scale is closed. So what was that, 3.5 or 2.5 hours or so? 2.5, 3 hours, somewhere in there. I didn't look how much time I had been sitting there for. But see that container guy wants to pull on the road. I'm like, I'll give him room. Realize it's all bumper to bumper in that lane. Well, we'll work our way by these guys. They're all really light. That's why it's important not to have your closing rate too fast. If all of a sudden I had come flying past these guys and someone cuts out in front of us like that, I'll rear end them, right? But since we're doing the closing rate between the people I'm passing, a relatively slow speed, the difference in speed between people I'm passing and me is small enough that if all of a sudden someone pulls out like that, I've got the room to slow down. Yeah, I think a lot of these guys are light vans, and they're a little wigged out. Fair enough, be wigged out by the road conditions. I was driving as if the roads were slippery. They were driving as if the roads were not slippery. And now that they know the roads are slippery, they're a little wigged out. Temperature is below 0, and I'm not seeing any spray off my tires. I am going to assume that the road is slippery. all goes smooth, I should be able to get home today for Thursday. I should be able to get home on Thursday. That's why I'm recording this on Thursday, so that you guys have something to watch on Friday. It's been only 3 days of work, but it's been an entertaining 3 days. Lane's getting a little squish here. Just make sure we pass nice and leisurely. Don't need to be another guy in the ditch. It's a bit narrow there. Don't feel like being beside him there. Take our time here. I think there's enough room, but oh, he's slowing down. And it's getting wider. Yeah, really got to take your time on this. These outside corners can get a little squishy. Some nice advantages to being heavy. Good thing is I'm not in a rush today. If all of a sudden I can't get home today, I should. Home is probably about 4 hours away, and I have almost 8 hours. So I don't have to rush on any of this, and I can just comfortably drive along. Like I tell our fleet manager, I'm like, the roads usually don't bother me. It's the other people that I got to be careful about. I grew up learning how to drive on snow and ice. I know how to handle it. I just have to be really careful around other people. And of course, yeah, I do make mistakes every now and then too. Been in the ditch with big rigs twice. My very first winter, I rolled one. Not my fault. Second winter, I drove it into the ditch. My fault. The first time I kind of rolled it over onto the shoulder very slowly. I hit the ditch and then rolled over after I had come to a stop. Basically, someone passed me with oncoming traffic, so I'm like, huh, that's not good. I pulled onto the shoulder. The snowplow had overplowed the shoulder. It looked like there was a shoulder there, but there was none. As soon as I pulled over onto that, what looked like was a shoulder, the truck just kind of fell into the ditch. So I rolled it in, or drove it into the ditch. It was such a steep ditch that it was a Super B. Jess was with me, and I just tell Jess, hey, I'm going to roll over. Or I'm like, we're going to roll over. She looks at me, what do you mean? I'm like, we're going to roll over, hold on. What? Just hold on, we're going to roll over. Because I saw the rear trailer just leaning over, and all of a sudden plop, and then it twisted the front trailer, and then the truck went, the truck actually never rolled all the way over. The truck went on like a 45-degree angle, just twisted the frame at a pretty good angle. No long-term damage though. There were some issues like the gears and the diff got some damage and stuff like that, some airlines. Got very lucky on that one. It's about the best rollover you can get away with because the tow truck tipped me back on the wheel with a full load on. The load stayed on the trailer. Tow truck tipped me back onto the road. I drove it back to the chipper, and they took all the load off, reorganized it, put it back on, and I delivered that load. The jaws in the fifth wheel were stretched as well, so they had to replace those jaws before I could take that trailer back on the road. That was my first time. Like I said, not really my fault. I was trying to save someone's life. I should have just maintained my lane, but I don't know. It was instinct. I'm better at not doing that now. Now that I know that the shoulders might not be real in the winter, I've like you guys seen my last couple of videos. I've had some weird close calls where people did weird things. I look onto the shoulder and see where there are tracks, and don't pull further onto the shoulder than I see tracks. The other time was very, very snowy, raining type of weather, very slushy, and I was just driving too fast for the black ice conditions. And I came around the corner, and I didn't quite make the corner and just drove it into the ditch. I kept driving it. Never stop driving your vehicle until you're at a complete stop. And even then, don't just jump out of your vehicle. You look around you to make sure there's not another car coming at you. Because when I drove it into the ditch, I kept my eyes open, and seconds after I went into the ditch, another truck came around the corner and actually crossed, going in opposite direction, came around the corner and crossed the center lane and sideswiped another big rig and jackknifed it. He had some head injuries and stuff. And of course, when they smashed into each other, one of their wheels came flying off and went zipping right by me where I was standing in the ditch. I'm like, whoa! I just ran. I ran around my truck to the other side, so any other flying debris zipped past on the other side of the truck. Nothing hit the truck or anything, but yep. So, yeah, I've screwed up twice. I'm hoping not to make it a third, but today won't be one of them because I'm in no rush. We're just gonna drive the road. Lots of traction on this snow. Hopefully the whole Manning Park drive is this way. Yeah, I was looking forward to shooting the Coquihalla, but I was also not looking forward to shooting the Coquihalla because this time of year cannot be a lot of fun. And it just goes, hopefully you get some good video. I'm like, no, I hope I have really boring video and nothing happens. She goes, true enough. Like, what makes a really good video that'll get lots of hits is not going to be a video I might enjoy. Commercial trucks only, Highway 5 North checkpoint. I was going to be taking the Coquihalla, but because there's no way with all these delays I'm making it to deliver this week, I'm just headed home. I think I said that earlier when I wasn't sure if we would get daylight. But we've kind of got some daylight, so that's kind of nice. Yeah, with this kind of road condition, it might take more like 5 hours to get home instead of 4, but we got time. We got time. Looks like we got some kind of flashing lights over here. Lineup of trucks. Oh, I see. They're removing their chains. They're coming off the Coquihalla and they're removing their chains. I think all the cops are on the Coquihalla here, but we'll slow down. Make sure. Basically a big checkpoint to make sure only big rigs take the Coquihalla and only big rigs with chains are taking the Coquihalla. This is 2 lanes here. Obviously, it's only 1 lane right now. sure what's going on there. It looked like an accident of some type, but use my brights just so I can see more of the snow here. What happens if I use my... Yeah, that's better. Let's not use the brights. We'll just use our fog lights. That shine lights up the snow nearby here. All right. Time to climb Hope Slide. It's a big climb. What did they call the climb? There was always the climb there, even before Hope Slide. Did they just call it Sunshine Valley Climb? What did people used to call this climb? She's a steep one. We're not there yet. This is just a little baby climb. This one we're still doing 65 kilometers per hour. We'll be slowed right down for the big climb. My guess is 20 some kilometers, maybe 30 kilometers an hour. In this case, when we're starting to climb, the empty light trucks have an advantage. They've got momentum. Technically 4 lanes, but it's acting more like 3 lane. Super careful passing here. What? I've got a chain up. Most likely that's what this says. Must use tire chains. Okay, I got a chain up. Go it around these guys and get ahead of them. Oh, the guy that flew past me did not pull in to chain up, did he? Nope. Get out of the way here. Alright. Time to chain up. Okay. I used to be fast at that. Took me 33 minutes exactly since we stopped. Is that trucker bypassing the chain up, or is he coming in? He's coming in, okay. Confused as to what the traffic is doing behind me. Do the big climb. Can't even hear my chains. Crack the windows open so if I could hear if something went wrong, but I can hear them a little bit. Actually, with this microphone and camera, we've never run chains before, so if I can't hear them, you guys probably can't hear them either. Full throttle. And honestly, when we get to the top of Hope Slide here, there's a long flat section. I'm just going to drive slowly and leave the chains on because we got a lot more climbing after that. I'm going to just leave them on right till we get to the top of Allison. No point in taking them off here and then re-chain up and down the road. Yeah, because there's so much snow I'm driving in, the chains are just compressing into the snow and not even jingling. I'm sure if I drove on the black, we would hear them. Good workout. Haven't put those chains on for a long time now. Never on this. Well, that's not true. I have put chains on at the Sutco yard just to drive 10 feet and then unchain just to get myself unstuck. But this is the first time I'm going down the highway with this truck and chains on. A lot of cars on this highway. Thanks to the Coquihalla being closed, everybody's taking this highway to Kelowna or wherever in the Okanagan or anywhere east, they're taking this highway. I'm guessing we're going to pretty much rely on the shoulder cam for this section of video. Because honestly, there's not much to see on the hood cam. Although the hood cam has the better audio, so we'll use the audio from that one. Whew. What a week it's been. Only a 3-day long week. I hope, if I get home today. And it's been quite eventful. It feels like the whole week has been a Monday. Yeah, if we hadn't been stuck there with the road closure, we could have gotten up and over this before chain up was a thing, so. Oh well. I put my chains on really, really tight. People have looked at my chains after I put them on and go, you don't even need bungees for these things. They'll stay on forever. I'm like, yeah, I still put bungees on them. Speaking of, my spider bungees are in my trailer sitting in West Kelowna. So I just grabbed some regular bungees. They're not quite as good, but they do the job. I'll have to pull over somewhere along the road and check on the bungees, make sure none of them have torn. Especially if we spin our tires, and I've got to go check on the chains. If we don't spin our tires, they should all just kind of stay in place. If we spin our tires, it puts all sorts of strain and torque on those bungees and the chains. Chains on the driver's side get worn out a lot quicker because very often the driver's side's on the black concrete while the passenger side's running in snow. I try to run both of them in snow as much as I can. know some guys just run on the pavement with chains on for mile after mile after mile at high speeds. Well, at least we got traction. I'm not even going to manual mode. Confident the automatic's got it. Doing 25 kilometers per hour. I got the speed right. Oh, 24. I guess we started the week in the dark and we're going to end the week in the dark. Excuse me. Lungs adjusting to a warm cab. It's only minus 10 outside. Wow, it's cold, but not as cold as it has been. Windows open, listen. Don't hear any clanking. They're almost brand new chains, so I don't expect any clanking, but still listen for it. No chains on him. So many guys just ignore the chain up signs. But I see the temptation, especially if I'm hauling a single trailer, probably light. So there's no need to chain up. I always say there should be two sets of lights. A set for Super Bs should be on now, and then anybody running just a single trailer have a separate set of lights that turn on for everybody needs to chain up, not just two trailers. Go. We're at the top. Hope slide climb. Then we'll do 40 kilometers, 40, between 40 and 50. Can't remember what the Sudco rule is. Probably around 40. I see truckers flying down the highway with chains on, but I would like not to have to repair chains. People hear I'm here. Yeah, there we go. At least I can. Traffic behind me doesn't like that this is a single lane here and they're all stacking up behind me, but well, guys, I think I'll call it a night, a week. I'm gonna enjoy my Friday, Saturday, and half a Sunday off. I'll see you guys on Monday. See what our plans are on Monday. I mean, I know what my plans on Monday are right now, but we'll see how different they are by the time we get to Monday. I am out of here. You guys rock. Speeding up. I don't want to speed up. Let's put engine brakes on. Brights on the whole time. I hope not. Must have blinded a whole bunch of people. Nobody flashed me. Anyway, yeah, right. I'm out of here. Guess rock. For real. Bye. We're going 3 wide. What the heck? Okay, yeah, bye.
This video is brought to you in part by the letter C and these YouTube members. Cookie starts with C. What other things start with C? Oh, who cares what other things? C is for cookie, and that's good enough for me. Thanks for watching. Dum.
Bye.